Hi, everybody. The purpose of this video is to inform you on how to use FlipGrid for part of your presentation. Now, FlipGrid, I just sort of recently became acquainted with. I have some colleagues that have been using it. I'm not sure if any of you have used it. I'm not sure how common it is with the college professor population, but to be quite honest with you, I think it's pretty cool. I think it is a great answer to the question of how are we going to do presentations in a virtual environment. So I'm here to talk to you about FlipGrid. So you know that week 13 in our class is presentation week. And during presentation week, you are going to create a Google slide or PowerPoint, and you're going to create a presentation. You would be doing this if we were in person. Um, so I've made this walkthrough here, and that's really regarding the topics and citations. A few of you said you're not comfortable doing citations, so please go to the syllabus, find the area that talks about citations and how to do them. And also your topic. I mean, your topic needs to be really specific. So we want to avoid using general topics because this presentation is brief. It's not long at all. You'll spend more time putting work into the presentation than, of course, you will actually be presenting it. So sign up sheet, I've talked about that before. The link here of possible topics. Of course, yours needs to be specific and approved. And then the information and the rubric for the presentation. So how you earn all your points and how you could lose points. So when I click on the presentations link, of course, we get the readings and resources and activities to complete folders. You want to go into activities to complete. So it says ready to record. Here's our FlipGrid board. So you are going to record and you have a maximum of 10 minutes. I cannot allot any further time than that. It just won't even allow me to do it. FlipGrid is meant to be, pretty quick. So if you're scared to go on screen, if you're worried about that, please, you can filter yourself. I will be filtering myself because I'm sure when I click on this, it's going to show me. So I am going to be filtering myself. And you can also trim and edit your video. So if you make a mistake, it's not a one-shot deal. It's not a one-shot deal. You can go back, you can edit, you can clip. So you might be working on it several different times to try to get a good video. So you're going to click on ready to record. Here's our FlipGrid board. And you will be logging in with your username. So you'll see a little bit different screen than this. And actually, I already have the screen that I need put up. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see Bio 101 Group 5, and you're going to see Bio 101 Group 6. There are 2 classes that are doing the FlipGrid. So if you're confused, if you see some numbers that don't necessarily apply to your class, it's because I'm showing you the other class, but it's the same assignment for both classes. So I have a couple different classes in here. I'm just going to go to Bio 101 Group 6. Okay, and we know that this is about presentations. Okay, because I'm not a student in the class, this is going to look a little bit different. Like for yours, it's going to say, are you ready to record? And I believe I have an option here to kind of show you what this looks like. So okay. So right here, I can hit record a response. That button is probably going to be much more evident to you because you'll be on the student side of things. I'm here on the teacher side of things, but I do want to show you how the various filters and such are going to work in FlipGrid. So let me just put it out there that at this point, if you're ready to record, that means that your presentation is done, right? That means that your presentation is done and you know your presentation well enough that you're ready to talk about it. So if you hit record a response, Okay, it's gonna pick me up on the screen here. Okay. And I might not be happy with the way I look. Maybe I'm like, oh, I'm not looking my best today. You have a lot of options here. You can mirror your video. Okay, so you could go that way. You can do some effects. You could probably stick a big emoji over your head if you wanted. Let's see if anything pops up there. Yeah, like you could put this giant emoji over your face if you wanted. Now, I don't know if you're going to want to do anything like that, but that's really up to you. You can also do some filtered effects. I usually like the black and white. Like this is really contrasty. Like you can't even see any of the features of my face here. But then there's like the sunset. There's this funky green one. And for you people who are kind of shy, there's pixelated. So if you're like, I want to stay anonymous, I mean, I'm obviously going to see your name. I'm going to know who you are. And then there's like a Lego pixelated where you can kind of look that way. I mean, to me, this is comical, but again, it is to make you comfortable. It's to make you comfortable, so it's kind of like whatever you're comfortable with. You have lots of different filters to play on here. I don't think there's any that can make your eyelashes longer or your eyebrows more defined or anything like that. But this is what we're looking at here. Now, and you're not being graded on like how good of a filter you have, right? So let's take a look at what you could do that could actually help your grade. So I'm going to trash this emoji here. You can hit record screen, okay? And when you do record screen, you should be able to pick something up off of your computer, like your presentation, and you should be able to show it on the screen. So because I'm coming at this from a teacher angle, I'm not 100% what that's going to look like. Okay, but I am going to give this a try. So I'm going to see what this looks like if I do a screen record. Okay, so for right now, it's just picking up whatever I have there. I do have something that I want to share with you. It's another student's PowerPoint from another totally different class. So I also teach anatomy and physiology. And I do presentations in those classes as well. So I want you to be able to see what does a presentation look like. What does a good PowerPoint or a good Google slide even look like? So I do have something here, and I'm going to head back over to FlipGrid. So when you go back over to FlipGrid, you should be able to click on options, record screen, capture your screen, and it should be somewhere. Like it should be able to come up in your windows. You should be able to find it. I'm going to kind of make it bigger, see if I can get this on here somewhere. I might have too many applications open at once right now, so I'm not 100% sure. So you're probably seeing this from just the Zoom instead of seeing it from FlipGrid. But there is a way to pick it up off of your desktop. So yeah, I have like a lot of different little screens going on right now. Oh, here it is, application window. Okay. So here we go. All right. So again, I have like Zoom up, I have FlipGrid up. I have a lot of different things going on, and it's not going to be that confusing for you, hopefully. But this was a presentation that somebody did for an anatomy and physiology class at Rowan College of South Jersey, and they did it on bipolar disorder. So you can see here they picked a nice like theme to go on the PowerPoint, and there's lots of different themes in there, and you can, explore them. They put their questions, they had to do 5 questions, and you have to do a few. You have to do either 3 or 5, I have to check. But they put theirs at the front. Yours can just go at the back. Okay, so they asked these questions. But let's get to like the good stuff. Okay, so this was their front slide. And they started talking about how much of the population suffers with bipolar disorder. So what I want you to notice is they're using the slide as a great visual tool. And it's not wordy, right? They're just going in and they're giving me information. And then when they went to present it, they kind of, fleshed it out a little bit more during their presentation. What is bipolar disorder? Now, this slide here, I'm going to tell you flat out, this one's too wordy. Okay, it's too wordy. You cannot have more than 30 words on a slide. There's definitely more than 30 words here. So they should have pared this down. They should have taken some stuff out, made it shorter. It's just too wordy on this slide. Okay, so that would be point deductions. Again, another really wordy slide. They could have pared down the phrases shorter. They're trying to talk about gender and bipolar disorder. And what you can't say in the slide, you can say in your talk. Okay, so that's kind of like where your talk can flesh things out. So your talk has to be pretty well rehearsed. And that's why this whole project is worth 100 points. Then they went into some statistics. I thought that this was helpful. Again, this one doesn't look too wordy. The words in the picture don't count towards your word count because it is a picture. Here's their research slide. So they, just like you, had to find a research article, and putting down the conclusion of that research article made this slide a little wordy. So again, you want to just put bulleted points, like just, bulleted short points. Does not need to be using complete sentences at all. So you want to make sure, don't make the slides too wordy. Misdiagnosis, chromosomes and bipolar, like how does it affect chromosomes? This is a pretty nice slide here because it's not too wordy and it kind of gets to the point and has a nice visual on it. And then they brought up Silver Linings Playbook. If any of you have ever seen Silver Linings Playbook, it is about bipolar disorder and manic depression. And they talked a little bit about this in class. They talked about, the characters in the film and how they did their research on trying to figure out, how to play this type of character. So it was like a nice way to end the presentation. And then they have their works cited. So notice here, notice here on the works cited slide, which you should have one. It doesn't necessarily count towards your slide count because it's not part of your official presentation. Notice here, there is no URLs. Like they didn't just take a web link and put it into a slide. They did official APA or MLA citations. And this is done by using that Purdue OWL website that was in the presentation walkthrough video. So if you haven't watched the videos and you don't know this information, and that's going to become really evident when you hand in your project, because, if you're handing something in and things aren't done correctly, then either you didn't watch the videos, or when you were watching the videos, you just were not engaged in the videos. So the stakes are high. You want to get a high grade on this. It's worth the same as an exam. So you want to do well. So this is screen sharing during FlipGrid. So you do have the opportunity to screen share during your FlipGrid, but you might not want to. Maybe you're like, I can totally wing this. I can just talk to you. I'm good at talking, and that's great. Some of you are going to be able to do that. So I'm going to stop sharing. All right. So again, I have like Zoom up, I have FlipGrid up. I have a lot of different things going on, and it's not going to be that confusing for you, hopefully. But this was a presentation that somebody did for anatomy. Okay, so the funny thing is, when I got done making that video in FlipGrid, it actually started playing while I was shooting this video for Zoom. So I did post the video. It ended up being 5 minutes long, just so that you can see a critique of a PowerPoint / Google slide for a project and just kind of see like, you know, what do good slides look like? You know, what do good slides look like? And keep in mind that it should be like a dark background and a light colored font. That studies have shown that a dark background with a light colored font are more appealing to your viewer than something else, you know, than light colored background and dark font. So dark background, light font. Okay. So this video will be here for you to be able to see. And, you know, it goes through all the filters and stuff like that. So it's really up to you. Do you want to screen share your project and talk to me about it with those 10 minutes? Or do you just want to talk about your project to the camera for 10 minutes? I mean, you could have it printed next to you. You could have it, you know, accessible to you. I will see your project either way. You are posting your project. You will post your project to Blackboard. So I will see it, but we still need the 10-minute talk component, and FlipGrid is going to provide that for us. Okay, so that's going to be up to you. Do you want to screen share it? Do you not want to screen share it? You know, so you can kind of see the video there. And this is how you're turning in the FlipGrid video. There's no turn in button on Blackboard for the FlipGrid video. It's all turning in on FlipGrid. Okay. So I hope that helps. I'm just going to double check everything, make sure that everything recorded correctly. But please reach out with questions. You have, you know, the presentation week is for you to take time to not only craft a good presentation, but to tweak it and make sure that you're not waiting till the last minute and turning in a poor product. You know, you are turning in a product here, and that product needs to be, you know, as good as it can be in order to achieve that 100. And you can take a look at the rubric again to see how you earn the points and then potentially how you could lose points. Okay, so I hope that helps. I'm going to get this posted up on Blackboard, and reach out to me if you have any questions.